love Facebook Live. Welcome to 365 Days Live with New. I feel so weird saying that now because I do have an announcement and about my lives, but I will save the announcement for the end of this live. So make sure if you don't have time to watch all of this, make sure you do scroll to the end into what that announcement is, that pivot. But today I wanted, okay, I think I'm back. Today I wanted to talk about how, I'm sorry if you hear all the sirens in the background, how amazing it has been for me to really have been devoting myself to listening and following my cycle, like my menstrual cycle. I don't know, I've just been on and on about it, but I have just like found so much magic and so much value from committing to really listening to my body. And like, I know it sounds so simple. Like, it sounds so simple to say, oh yeah, I just listen to my body and I do what I feel like doing. Like, that sounds so simple, right? But it's so hard to do. It is so hard to do with the mind getting in the way a lot of the time. So, I finally, after 2.5 years, almost 3 years, coming on 3 years ever since I found human design, where I am finally understanding my line 2 profile. Okay, so in human design, we have 2 numbers that create our profile, which is the role we play in life. And the first number, the line 2, for me is how I see myself and how I really, how I see myself in the world. And then the line 4, the second number, is your unconscious, which is how other people experience you, how other people see you. So for me, my line 2 is a hermit. And I've always seen, and you know, it's a hermit, it's the natural genius. And some people call it, like my mentor calls it, the compass. And I have always known that I needed that time alone. I have always known that I liked to spend time alone and be quiet and like be in my own thing. And you know, as I was growing up, I always what's that word? I always attributed that to being quiet, being shy, being reserved, and you know, sometimes in a negative way of like, being a loner. And so when I learned about my line 2 profile, I was like, oh yeah, of course I know I'm a hermit. I like to be alone. I'm more of an introvert, right? And that was like the extent to kind of how I understood my line. And of course I came back to it, but this, you know, and as you know, or may not know, I am on an experiment to really honor my cycles and really honor when I am feeling the pull from my body to go into that hermit mode. And I was always very confused on what it meant to, what am I supposed to do when I'm in my hermit mode. I was like, okay, yeah, like my mind's like, give me something to do. How am I supposed to be in this state of hermiting? And automatically I always thought, oh, hermiting just means I'm tucked away in my room doing nothing, watching videos, watching movies, kind of being lazy and just doing nothing. And so that never really resonated with me, but I was like, oh, okay. But I don't know, for some reason, just divine timing, I guess, is that now I finally come to the realization this past few days, because I'm in my menstrual cycle, the cycle where I am in winter in hibernation. And I really don't want to be like out there loud and like sharing and doing all these things that I would naturally want to do when I'm, you know, in my follicular or in my ovulation phase. So I slowed down, and I felt this pull to start a course in internal family systems. And I started relearning about trauma from Gabor Mate. And I started listening to some podcasts on money, rewiring your money, and via your rewiring your nervous system in terms of how you feel towards money. And I was like, wait, like, why am I like, and just yesterday I got into I'm rewatching, because every time you watch something, you always learn something new, because you are a different version of you when you watched it, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, just 2 weeks ago. And so I rewatched, I'm in the process of rewatching a human design authority course. And I was like, and then it came to me. I was like, okay, I'm like holding my hand like this because I cut my finger, my middle finger, this morning. So I'm like, try not to touch it. So that's why I'm like going like this, if you are wondering. But yeah, so it finally made sense this morning. It kind of all came together without me like trying to figure it out. It all came to me that during my hermit phase, I'm not doing nothing. I'm actually diving and digging into the things that I actually love, that actually pull me, that actually excite me. And I was just telling Robert yesterday that like me starting the internal family systems 6-week course was so good for my sacral. Like my sacral was so lit up. I was so excited. I felt alive. That's what I told him. I felt alive. And I did not expect to feel that when I'm hermiting. And during my hibernation phase, right? When I think of hibernation, I'm thinking of like quiet, calm, nothing's going on. But no, you know, like, so it's just like mind blowing for me to be like, oh my God, like here I am, a human design teacher, coach, mentor. And I have been thinking about hermiting in such a different way just because I think that that's how it should be, because that's how it was taught to me. And so that's why I never resonated and never really understood what it meant to be a hermit and what it looked like to be a hermit in the hermit phase. But now I do. And oh my God, like I'm like so excited because this is like how I feel every time I get a transformation, an aha moment, and like an epiphany of like, oh my God, my life, my view on this is going to just change and shift and elevate me and advance me and initiate me into my next level. And my clients, my future clients are going to benefit from this, right? Like, it's just so amazing because it is so important to learn to be around people, mentors, coaches who are embodied in what they're teaching and learning and sharing with you. So I just feel so good because I am, you know, finally understanding what it means and what it looks like to be in my hermit phase, and now I have such a positive connotation around what it means to be in my line 2, what it means to honor that, because honestly, when I honor that, I'm actually in the most receptive state to take in all that information, because that's when my sacral is like wide open and saying like, hey, let's consume and learn all this information and, you know, dive deep in without any distractions, right? That's what it means for me in my specific life to be in my hibernation mode. And when in a couple of days when I get out of that, like, hey, I might not be interested in like diving deep into those things anymore, because I'm gonna start planning my next phase in my passion project in my business. And I was just like, oh my God, like everything is starting to make sense to me. And I'm just like so excited. Like if you are a line 2, if you know a line 2 profile, this is gonna be such a game changer. So I know one of my previous clients, Tina, if you're watching this, oh my God, like this is another level, girl, let me tell you. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited, happy, and just so at peace that my radical trust and self-trust in my sacral is leading me in the right direction. And I am just so proud that I listened to myself and I took that leap of faith. And I wasn't just relying on myself. I was also relying on having faith in God that He has a plan for me. And that the way God communicates to me is through my sacral. So I don't have to use my mind to figure out that next step every single time. And when I do use my mind to figure out those next steps and I feel the resistance, hey, that's data. That's information. That's communication to me that, hey, you're going the wrong way. But I have just been so conditioned to disregard that and to just say, well, I lived a life growing up doing what I don't feel like doing. So why is this any different? So the conditioning we have growing up, it affects us till this day. So if we don't wake up to that realization and make that unconscious conscious and start shifting and start becoming and embodying our future self, our identity, our new identity, it's not gonna happen, right? So it's just also beautiful. And so I just wanted to share that with you because again, I'm speechless, even though I did talk a lot about it. But yeah, so I love that, and I just can't wait for the next phase and see how I'm feeling, and like really continue to document that and really see how that shows up in my life. So amazing. So all right, so now for the reveal or the pivot that I'm going to be sharing with you. I can't believe I'm just going to be saying this, but I will no longer be doing the 365 days live challenge. Okay, I know. And what's beautiful about my decision is that I don't have a lot of guilt around that like I would in the past. I used to be so strict with myself if I commit to something that I feel like I should, out of obligation, follow through. And sure, I said to you and the world here on Facebook that I'm going to do these lives every single day for the whole year, except on those days that I went camping, and I would just make a video on those days. And I said that, and I committed to that because I had a goal and a vision and a purpose. I'm just like so amazed at all these beautiful trees. Like, spring is just so amazing. Okay, let me get back to my point. My point is that, yeah, I started this 365 days live challenge with the purpose to start getting comfortable sharing my voice again, getting comfortable being on camera, allowing you to get to know me on a deeper level, about what it takes to come back online, what it takes to run an online business, the ups and the downs and all that stuff. And I have loved it all this time that I've been doing it. It has given me so much insight to like what I value, what I like to talk about, what matters to me, how I like to lead, how to show up even when I don't want to, even though when it's hard, and all that stuff. And so I just definitely feel I'm gonna take you down to a little river section here. I just started feeling this pull recently to stop doing the lives. And okay, so before I continue, I want to show you this. Look at this beautiful little section. I feel so lucky to live close to this beautiful trail. I walk this trail almost every single day, and I just never get tired of it. So, and I love seeing how like this place changes with the weather, with the seasons, right? Like nature has such beautiful seasons of their own, and so do we. And so it's important for us to really honor and tune into that for ourselves. But wasn't that amazing? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so pretty. But I'm gonna sit here, kneel here and chat with you a little bit before I continue for the rest of my walk. But yeah, I'm gonna find a spot to sit. right here. Yeah, so I am deciding to no longer continue it because I feel like the 365 days live has fulfilled its purpose, and my sacral is no longer feeling lit up to come alive every single day, and it has recently been feeling like obligation, and that's not how I want to lead my business, lead my passion project, lead my life. And I got so many good things out of this live challenge, and also this is such a good real life example of when you commit to something, you in the moment you are all in, you think that's what you want because that is what you want in the moment and what you need in order for you to make that next step, make that take that next aligned action. And once I did start taking that aligned action, and as I got further and further along, I realized, oh, this is where I need to take a different aligned action. And so I started to feel like my lives here with you are no longer aligned to how I want to run my business moving forward. And even though I love showing up, I feel like, of course, I'm still going to show up. I'm just not going to feel the obligation or have the commitment to show up every single day, because I will be using that energy that I will, because it takes a lot of energy for me to show up live, to bring to you what's going on, to really just share and talk. And I have gotten really good at talking for like a good amount of time. I'm actually pretty proud of myself for how much I have been able to share and just speak and not have a script. Sometimes that's very intimidating at first. And I know that it's beautifully leading me into my next phase in life and phase in my business, where I want to run like these master classes, which are like an hour long, right? Or maybe I'll start with 30-minute master classes or 45-minute master classes where you can attend and I can share with you similar things, but more in a structured way, right? Because right now it's very informal. It's just me and you, and I'm taking you on a hike, a little walk with me, But when I have my courses that come out, I'll be in my office and I will have notes, and I will actually teach you something in a manner, in a way where with things and with questions for you to contemplate and things for you to do after the course. And so I'm feeling into that next phase in my business, in my passion project. And I just know that if I continue to do the daily lives, it will take energy away from me and it will deplete my sacral instead of regenerate it. So I'm gonna do things that regenerate my sacral, because that is my life force energy. That is how I will show up to you in the best version of myself, in the fullest alignment and embodiment, and do the work that I need to do, and that I want to do and that I get to do. So that is the reveal. That is the pivot that I was referring to yesterday, is that I will no longer be doing the 365 days live challenge, and I will be stopping it at the end of March. So that would have been 3 months, and still, like, that's amazing. Like, I have no shame. I would have used to have shame around, oh, I can't follow through on my commitments. But like, what is the point in following through on a commitment if you are no longer the version of yourself that made the commitment 3 months ago, right? Like, to me, it just makes sense. So I want to give you permission to see my example as permission for you to tap into your own life and see if there are any things in your life that you're committing to or feeling obligated to stay in just because you said yes, like a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, right? Whatever the case is, you change, you evolve, you grow, your values change. What matters to you changes, So I want you to fully embrace that, your expansion, and take that next aligned step and not be pulled back and not be depleted by what you have committed to in the past. Because when you do that, then it creates this distrust within you that holds you back from making future commitments. Okay, so I know that because of lived experience, and I'm here to share with you that It doesn't serve us when we continuously shame ourselves for the decisions that we've made in the past that we now feel like, oh, we shouldn't have made that decision. But the truth and the reality is you made that decision with the best intention, with the resources you had, with the knowledge you have had, and with the version that you were back then. And you're not that same version right now. So there should be no shame, no guilt. There should just be celebration that you are evolving, you're growing. What you value, what you desire is shifting as well. Like that's something you actually should celebrate, right? So that is my little spiel, my little share, pretty big share about what's coming in my world with coaching, human design, how I'm going to show up. And of course, there's one more thing, but as I was sharing on my stories, I'm really starting to shift who I talk to here on Facebook and on my social media and over on Instagram and my email list. I am going to shift who I speak to because I feel like I have been speaking to people who don't know what coaching is, don't know what human design is, and if you're watching me and I'm speaking to you like you don't know what human design is, I think you would not like it. I wouldn't like it. I'll be like, girl, I know what that system is. It's amazing. Can we move on, please? Can we move on to different things? So I just realized that that's where I have been speaking from, and I want to shift that. I want to shift to people who already know what I'm doing, knows the value, sees the value, and they just want to be in my world. They just want my coaching. They just want my mentorship because I offer and I have packages that are just so luxurious, juicy, delicious, amazing to be in, right? I realized, and if you're an entrepreneur listening to this, I want you to also think, have you been speaking to people who need your services, or have you been speaking to people who want your services? Okay, that was such a huge wake-up call for me when Melanie, my mentor, she talked about how people buy easier and tend to buy from what they want, not from what they need. And I've been selling I feel like I have been selling to people, hey, you need coaching because it's so amazing. Because yeah, duh, like coaching changed my life, So I feel like everybody needs coaching, right? But that's not the lens that has been working for me. I want to attract people who knows the value, who wants the coaching, who wants the mentorship, who wants to be empowered and rise up together with me, right? I want that. And if I speak to the people who need it, they will come from a place of need, and they will come from a place of looking for a savior, because if they need my coaching, that means they need me to save them. And that's not the vibe. That is not who I want to work with. That is not who I'm aligned to work with. So that would not be the right client, and I am going to be attracting that type of client. So I'm shifting everything in my world, starting with me first, starting with the way I think, the way I see my clients, the way I see you, and from there, then I can offer you the best experience just because you want it, not because you need it, not because there's anything wrong with you, but because it is a luxury experience, a good experience, a fun experience that you want to have in this lifetime. To have a mentor stand by you and be in your corner, in your back pocket, and just support you and expand you and initiate you into your next level. I've been using that word a lot. I have the channel in my human design. I have a channel of initiation. So I have the gate of shock going into the gate of universal love, and through the lens of just having the best intentions for people, I shock people into their next initiation, and I shock people into their next level of being in a good way. And of course, shocking someone isn't always a good thing, or isn't always a bad thing. It just is. So if you're ready to be initiated, if you're ready to be expanded, if you're ready to be challenged, if you're ready to face your fears and actually get to that next level, you would love me. But if you're not, you would hate me. You would be like, I would make you so uncomfortable, and I will trigger you a lot probably, and I would make you feel invalidated in all your experiences so far. So, it's so important who we talk to and how we talk to people. And so I really know I'm starting to really get an understanding of the people that I want to call into my world and to work with me and to enjoy life with me. Like, that's really it. Like, to enjoy life, to love your life, and to create your future from a life that you already love, right? And to have a good time on the way. I know it's cliche, but it is the journey that counts. I don't care about the destination. How you feel on the way to your destination is going to matter so, so, so much more than that, like 1-2 minutes that you feel when you reach that destination. I promise you, like, reaching that destination is not going to last you a lifetime. Once you reach that next destination, the next peak, you're going to see a whole other 20-30 mountains that you're like, oh man, I want to go there. And then you continue, right? So life is an upward, ongoing journey. And so we will never get to a place where we're just satisfied forever. We will always want more and more. And so the point is to love where you're going, the journey, every step of the way, and have that destination just be the cherry on top. So I know this was a longer live. I spoke about a lot of things, and I've just been so passionate. And I'm just so surprised at how much energy I have for being on hibernation and in my menstrual cycle. Oh, a squirrel. For a second, I thought I was like, was that a bear? There's no bears here. I'm so silly. But anyway, yeah, so thank you for tuning into today's live. I will miss coming on every day, but I will still be coming on, like, I'm sure at the least once or twice a week. So I will finish off the month of March. Oh my God, there are all these things, all these pollen are falling from the trees. I swear it's not my dandruff. It's just like so many flowers and pollen are falling. So yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, I will be coming on live still, but I will be finishing off. I will be finishing off March, and then April will be like a totally new vibe, a whole new world. So that's what I love about life. I'm just gonna keep following my sacral, being devoted to my sacral. That is still not gonna change. And so yeah, if you are interested and you're ready for your next level, you're ready to be in mentorship and be in coaching with me for your life, for your human design, whatever it is, send me a DM. I would love to work with you. If you resonated with all the things that I was sharing earlier, then you are my person. But if you are not ready, that's okay also. Everyone has their own divine timing, and I'm not gonna make you wrong for not being ready yet. So that is it for today. I will see you tomorrow. All right. Bye.